because he's not only coercing, he's giving the illusion to women under a false belief that this is a better life. But once they get there, the treatment that they receive is what's wrong. You know what I mean? Now I can see if these girls went there and they wasn't treated bad and they left, and then okay, it's nothing wrong. But when you got them over there and you're doing those things to them, and what you're doing is brainwashing by force, that's against the law. I don't know.
See, this is interesting.
It really is.
I had a conversation in my WCW meeting with one of the women who's a former Carbon Nation member. And I asked her really basic questions. What was your best day there? What was your worst day there? What drew you to him? Because I really believe that if you want to break the psychology of women allowing themselves to be taken in by men like this, you got to figure out what brought them there in the first place.
Usually, it's the game. Guys.
No. Did you hear what you said, though, earlier? You had said that he's offering promise of a better life. Did it with all of them. And then when it turned, they became subjects.
Well, see,
and
this is the thing.
Listen to me. She was talking about how he makes the women get up and take care of him at night and nurse him through his night terrors.
Right. That's it.
Like, this is supposed... No, but he's supposed to be a spiritually evolved individual suffering night terrors.
Right, yeah.
Spiritually evolved.
I see why he got night terrors. Now, let me explain this to you. What he's doing, right, is fraud. This guy is a big old fraud. This is a classic FBI case. I don't know who said that it wasn't. Listen, I worked for the U.S. Army Rangers for 16 and a half years. We busted up rings like this for nothing.
Thank you for your service.
Nothing. Thank you. But it is a federal thing. If they go to the federal courts and put in a motion, it can go through. Like, this dude is doing something totally wrong. He's doing what Son of Sam and all of them did back in the days, and saying that this is a religion and that this is a better way of life. Little do he know that there is an agency already out there attacking these people. They're going after these cults, and it's quiet as kept. You know what I mean?
He's been kicked out of like 4 different cities. He's been kicked out of 4 different cities. The law has thrown him out.
Well, but
the feds have not gotten involved.
No.
Not here.
Listen to what I'm saying to you. This is how these boys play. These boys, when they move in on you on a case like this, they don't want no slip-ups. They don't want no nothing. So by getting kicked out of state to state, all of that is tacking on. Now, only thing they're waiting for is for someone to report either an injury or someone got killed. They're waiting for something to bust the camel's hump in order to go in. There's a federal warrant.
So can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question, Leon, with your experience?
Yeah.
There was a baby that was born, supposedly stillborn. What happened to the remains of that child? Where was that child buried? No one seems to know what happened to this baby.
I'm going to be honest with you, and I don't want to be horrific on this platform of yours. I am a big fan of you, and I follow you. I really do appreciate the work you do. What I've seen is very horrific. It's very disrespectful to human nature itself. If they don't bury the baby, which I'm quite sure this guy didn't bury you or anything like that, they usually turn them, put them in the ground, top them up. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. They have pigs. And the pigs will eat it. You see what I'm saying? Now, this is where, that's why I said the federal laws apply. Because if you have someone like that in your cult, and what he's doing is inhumane acts, it's against the okay, he chops off a chicken head in front of me, and I'm a law enforcement. I got to say something.
Jay.
I'm sorry, yes, King Will.
Listen, the lady that you're referring to, they call her Zoka. She is the first cousin of Vince Staples. That's what she is. Yes, she's the first cousin of Vince Staples. it's kind of weird that her family hasn't said anything about this child that she lost, and no one made a post on Facebook. Her name is Jayon Hamilton. She's Vince Staples' first cousin.
Usually in things like this, right? A village like that will have some sort of medic on staff. That medic, I guarantee you, if there's a medic on staff, that medic's license is attached to some sort of medication that was administered to that woman for that loss of that baby. Now, once that happened, bro, that's like covering up a crime. Like, you are bounded by certain laws and duties to report things like that. You know what I mean? So that's a federal case right there itself. But I hate to say that that's what probably happened to that baby. They probably did that baby like that. And that is crazy. And again, these girls, they do come in there like not knowing what to expect. I mean, just because you see this guy got all this and all that, that don't mean that's a better way of life. You feel what I'm saying? I know guys that are miserable. You know what I mean? So it's crazy.
I hate to cut you short, but Leon, thank you. Thank you. And please come back again, because we need to have people who are informed in what goes on in the background in the law and how to make this happen.
How can I message you? When I get you, it's always on these platforms and someone else is the host.
My email, jaguarright@gmail.com.
I got you. All righty.
And once again, thank you for your service, brother. I think you know what the military means to me.
Thank you.
All right, take care.
All righty.
Ladies, do you have anything to say to weigh in on anything that was just said?
I think they may be in shock too. And like I say, when this was first revealed about Vince Staples and his first cousin, people was really trying to figure out what was going on, and no one has said anything. There was, before the girl actually went to the court, she was on the live stream with the cult leader, and at the time he had even stated about his medical condition and how he wasn't at the best of health. And just like everybody else, this dude done took advantage of everybody that's done came around him. Everybody. So this is why I report on him. I try to prevent women from actually joining the cult. I have a roast and report channel. You know, I joke, you know, at times, you know, but I don't want to see anything bad happen to any one of them that's there. But the cult leader himself, the one that ran from over here, that's why he running now, because we keep exposing him. We always say we keep our on his look. That's what we do.
Queen, you want to weigh in?
No, I was just gonna say, like, King is, like, I've been on his panel before. He is the person, track. How long you been tracking him, World? For 4 years now?
And funny that you say that, because Jag, when you're talking about that child that went missing, we actually believe that's how he was able to disappear that child, because he challenged me online to find his location. But then there was video proof that showed that they were on like a hike style safari. And we thinking then that's when the disappearance of this child took place, because one of the members now that actually went to the infectious specialist disease, doctor, she was in, medical care. She was one of the people that was looking as if that she saw something or underwent something that took place at that time. And that's what we've all been trying to figure out. They've been creating different psyops. You know how them crisis actors is. They've been doing all that. They've been trying to shake us off, but they don't want to talk about this baby, nor the woman that came that was supposed to deliver the baby.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
World, you can go on his YouTube channel. I mean, he literally, John Walsh of the Nature Boy. Like, you can find a lot of stuff on him. You can just go to World News, and he stay on him. He stay on him, that's for sure. And he's
earning revenue.
Yes. You number one on the heat list.
Who?
You.
That's what's up.
That's the thing. Hi, heat list. Hi.
Yeah, that's what's up. And just like what they're putting in the comments, Jay, I mean, there's several other channels, that post videos about them, but consecutively I've had dialogues with open panel bills discussing things taking place with the cult persuasion, cult leader manipulation, all of that and more, you see. And,
Look, I'm going to tell you this. There's is a conversation that we could probably carry on with for another 2 hours or so. So what I'm going to do is once a week, I'm going to take the time to create this space so we can have this conversation. Because until we all get on board with the idea that regardless of what we think or feel about this person, this needs to stop.
That's right.
And it's not going to stop until people in government and people in politics see that this could affect an election. You know what I mean? They're not going to get excited if they don't see us in an uproar about it.
Right.
So we gotta get motivated for these women and for these children, because regardless of what anybody thinks about those women, those children did not ask for this situation. They had no choice in being involved in this situation. They were drug along for the ride, whether it was from a young age or from birth. The only question he was willing to answer out of everything that we said here was about the fight. He didn't say anything about making anybody drink alcohol while they were pregnant, or calling their babies demons, or any of these things. We all know that this is not a person that you just want to badger out. He's been practicing this for too long. We need to stop worrying about beating him, and we need to start worrying about like how to break his spell, how to break what he's got going on. And the only way to do that is by empowering the women.
Yes.
We gotta empower these women. Because if we don't empower these women, he's gonna win. And that was really why I wanted the parents to come here, because I wanted y'all to hear what it's like to live with somebody who all of the power has been taken away from them.
Right.
Like I said before, I do not blame Velvet for not wanting to speak on anybody else's platform. Everything about her life, everything she thought, everything she did was controlled by him. The last thing she wants is anybody telling her what to say and how to say it. Ever. Not right now. And that's a good sign, because that means she's getting brave. But we gotta let her get brave on her own and be there for her when it's time. But we gotta stop talking about all the crazy stuff that he do, and we gotta start talking about how to cut it off. Because he keeps picking up new followers. All of this stuff out there, and women are still signing up.
And I think, Jag, World has to. Haven't you raised money to get some of the girls out of there? I think he has. Didn't you do that over the years?
Yeah, I've made attempts. I've reached out to family members and everything we're talking about right now, except for a few things we haven't tried thus far to be able to cease the cult leader. But just like this app, Bigo, and the way people, find him on Bigo, this is how unsuspecting people fall up under the mantra of the cult leader, okay? And them same words that I was telling you about. I spoke on it earlier today with the sex magic. He's one of the...
Divine, don't stop. Divine, don't stop. Don't stop in the word daily.
Oh, yeah.
If we really are going to say that we're down for ours, then we got to be down for ours. They're not going to leave him. They're not going to leave him.
No.
But somebody has to create the ability for them to lead for themselves. And as long as he holds that mental power, they're prisoners.
You have to scoop him out. You got to run him off all areas. See, I got him to the point off of Instagram. I made him leave Instagram. But what I did was by successfully locating him geographically, he was totally black. He started using the black screen. Once he figured out about this app and how to make money, this is why he came over here with newer people who were not exposed to what he was doing.
Yeah, to get meetings.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I know we came here for some change.
That's his whole agenda. But see, you got to play.
He'd be a fool. He'd be a fool. In the racket that he's in, he'd be a fool not to, which is why he'd be a fool not to come back.
So what was that like once that he stormed off over here? Because I heard everybody left.
I mean, he stormed off and then he came back. And I understood at that point in time. He wants to be respected, then you got to respect everybody else too. You can't tell me not to have an outraged panelist go off on you when you're doing outrageous shit. Like, that's why I said to him, let's keep it real. I think you know that in the least, the shit you're doing is a little controversial.
Oh, yeah.
That's going to get under somebody's skin. So you got to be prepared. But that's not what he wants. He wants control, and that's why I told him, even control is an illusion.
And like you said, Jack, Tony was a trigger for him because he knows about the entertainment industry. She was a stripper. She comes from a hard life. She knows all about narcissists of any kind. She knows about them in the industry. So he just couldn't work her energy like that because she just wouldn't let him sit in it.
I wish I could hear that, Tony. I swear. Hey, look at here.
Listen to me. I'm going to tell you something right now. I wasn't going to stop Tony, just like I wasn't going to stop Nosy. But I knew all of us couldn't go in on him. And the truth is, I don't know anybody that could go in on him better than Tokyo.
I'm telling you, Tokyo. I already know she fired up now. She probably rolling up now. She probably done smoked already. And you know she know, because she know about, listen, even by what she talk about as far as the elites, as far as her, the exotic world, you know that.
She been there.
She know somebody. Hey, look, Jack, she know somebody that know this motherfucker that been dancing. Now, I'm telling you that. It ain't gonna.
And she probably don't even know it.
That's what I'm telling you. It ain't gonna take them but a couple calls. Watch what I tell you. Tony knows somebody that know this dude. She knows.
You know what? I gotta call my friend. I gotta wait for her blood pressure to go down. I know she gonna cuss me out for 5 minutes, and then when I tell her what oh damn, Jag.
Yes, because Tony was gonna read him for the filth that he is. Like, she was reading him. She was going to read him from top to bottom.
Absolutely.
Oh, honey,
But
I get him like that all the time. He runs. I read his ass. He be
Okay,
running.
fine.
Yeah, but what God runs from humans?
Exactly. If you a God, why you can't stay on my panel and handle this?
No, but that's what I said to him. You're always teaching all of these skills
Wait.
about this and that. Put them into use right now.
Manipulate all these women. Come on, talk to these real women.
See,
What's up? Why you running, Messiah?
You know why? Because he want to talk to a younger-minded woman. It's not about the numerics as far as age. It's just in the mind. And he knows the woman he can. And it's all grounded in astrology. You better believe that.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
All he
Young,
doing.
immature women.
That's all he doing, Jack. He using that astrology game, man. He know what type of women to get. You feel me?
Yeah.
I know that. I know that, but the problem is they're not the typical kind. These are middle-class girls that come from middle-class homes where both of their parents had 2 jobs and they watched VH1 and they went to church once a month. These aren't, he's not going and scouring around the Greyhound station.
No. Some of those girls are prostitutes.
Some of them, but not all of them. Not all of them.
Not all of them. Wait.
He's getting girls that come from something too.
Okay, but you gotta understand, these are girls that haven't had a chance to even experience anything because their mother and father was so tight on them, and now they found an escape with this dumb motherfucker manipulating them. These are young, immature minds that he's mastering. He's not mastering the women. Young, immature minds.
Did you hear what he said when I questioned him about the maturity?
Yeah, and then he's saying this. He's in a poly relationship. You in a poly relationship. These young, immature children, childish minds don't know anything about poly. You are forcing them to poly.
Look,
within this force of poly relationship, they are jealous, hating, beating each other.
I don't know what kind of spiritual enlightenment this is supposed to be, but it doesn't. That's why I said I don't get it. Like, what's the end game to all of this pain? Is there supposed to be some great epiphany of love on the other side? Like, what's the end game to all this pain. That's why he said, oh, it's immaturity. I'm like, so basically what you're saying is they're too immature to be involved in a relationship as complex as this.
Hey, let me tell you, right? He got a woman right now that just left that infectious disease specialist, and she definitely got something. The lady that's up here, Divine_I, she the lady that brought it to the forefront and showed us, taking a screenshot while she was in the room, okay? Now, this guy done been with several women that's done came and left. Several of these women, Latino men, have had sex with them as well. So this is spreading everywhere off of what we believe to be a super strand. This lady,
Yes.
now, if you can explain to a Divine what Malia just went through.
Yeah, that's what
Okay.
we're talking about.
This child, we were for a long time trying to figure out what she had. He made her stop her family from coming to the hospital. So we all just worried and suspicious. Malaya, okay. So one day he told her, he said, Malaya, get on the screen and let them see that you are well. She gets on the screen and she was trying to get her little IV cord. So it was tangled. So she set the phone down and it pointed directly at her med chart. Okay? So I took and wrote down all the meds. And us together sat on a panel and went over these meds. This girl is so sickly and so close to like the end of life to where you shouldn't even be talking to him. From HIV on down, okay?
Listen to me, honey. I talked to Serenity.
Okay?
And I listened to the way she spoke about her relationship with him. She honestly believes that he cured her of her illness. She believes it. If she was able to be convinced that this man could clear up her vaginal issues with just his words, and then empower her to do it for herself, and she believes it worked, what is Malia believing?
Listen, let me tell you what's...
Is Malia believing that whatever it is that she's going through right now is going to go away because Baba is going to say something
Yes,
that...
she's still in belief of that. And I'm going to tell you what's going on. From her med chart, this girl is on like schizophrenia and mental medication. So she's not even thinking properly. The poor child is just so lost. It's just so sad to even see her on the camera. Okay?
I'm going to tell you this. If she passes away in this mess before she's delivered, that's going to bother me for quite some time. That's going to take some sleep away from me.
Hey,
well, we already been missing sleep. I do this daily, raising awareness on this dude, because I'm looking at unlike people, my sister. If you've seen this child, it's just so hurtful to even look at her.
She is so
he forces this child to get on live camera and pretend that she's well.
I saw the video where he was hazing her and telling her and screaming at her, tell them all you want is some dick. Tell them you want some dick. Tell them. And I'm watching her cower. And I'm sitting there. How can anybody not see this as intimidation?
Oh, honey, did you see the video how he did her? She was like really mentally out of it. Like sick. When this girl went to the hospital, she had so much to do just to even sustain any treatments or diagnosis. When he was sitting in her home, the girl was just sitting there. She was just like gone. And he was just bashing her like, you gotta go. You keep arguing with Zoka. And I really honestly believe what took Malaya over the edge. Because if anyone looked at that last video, he told Malaya that she has to go because she kept arguing with Zoka. Now, I'm thinking this in regards to the baby. You got these unexperienced women over here delivering babies, and Malaya didn't visualize something that she can't handle. Now, after that, you made Malaya leave. The very next day, you put Zoka on camera as you coached her. to explain to us and lie to us what happened to her baby. And it wasn't authentic, it wasn't real. And then you told her to cry on cue, and she cried on cue. So, with that being said, the last strike for Malaya was visualizing this situation with Soka's baby. And that was the mind flip of all her health issues that led her up out of there on a plane to the hospital. And I'm willing to bet you that's what it is. And it's not no assumptions, none of that. Because he spoke in the video the day before he got rid of her. You keep arguing with Soka, and I want you to go.
And they believe, Jack, that if they do something called a B6 diet, that it's supposed to heal you, but in actually direct reaction, it actually does opposite. So
there is somebody that said he's a devil and he's a demon. Love all of y'all too. I want to change the conversation, because to call him a devil is to give him power beyond his resource. He's just another human being.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that's why I don't personalize it. That's why I don't personalize it, Jag. I was looking for it when you was just a few minutes ago. Actually got the audio for you of Malia's cousin that was explaining what her health condition was and what she was going through.
Do you want to play a little bit before we leave?
Sure.
I'd love to hear it.
Okay.
I think it's going to hurt, but we need to.
She is really, really sick. He's not telling you. And that's what I'm thinking. She has a drain that is running from her ovaries. She has a oversized cyst on her ovaries where the drain is running from it. She has an epidural drip in her back. She also has an abscess on both sides of her ovary, and she has one on her nipple. They'll send her blood off to the Center for Disease Control, because whatever the disease she has is some form of bacterial infection that is not known in the United States. So we're waiting for blood cultures to come from around the world. She's been so many places till we have to check for Costa Rica, Panama, Hawaii, everywhere that she has been. That's for the different disease, because you know they're on these restaurants, there's also so not only because she's had an alien state directed to vaginal sex, that she could have picked up a bacterial infection.
Did you hear that, Jay? Because she was having anal to vaginal sex. Okay. I'm going to put that out there so you know what's going on.
Listen to me. Oh, goodness.
That's what's going on. And that's that strain that I'm talking about. You see, that's what he's doing.
He's turning these women into human petri dishes. See, you can't be mixing those bacteria. See, anybody that knows anything or paid attention in sex ed knows that almost every STD comes from a yeast infection, vaginal bacteria, normal, natural stuff that you need to keep it going well. But when you start adding little something into the mix, it flips and turns to something else. You can't be having anal penetration and vaginal penetration and there be no cleaning in between the two. You can't do that.
I have told them that, and I said that is the number one thing that causes HIV. And a lot of bisexual men having unclean anal sex. I have spoke about this. And I have also told people, if you want to report him, stop reporting him for abuse and certain things. If you want Nature Boy to go down, and I'm saying this to 1,124 people, report him for human trafficking. He will not get from that.
You want to know why they won't? Because none of them believe they were trafficked.
Exactly.
No.
They won't stand in court.
No. Is one in there. Manipulation is one of the terms of human trafficking. It's outlined in black. All of them have tattoos of the same kind of his name. He has violated 6 human trafficking violations. He will go down. If you're going to report him, 1,152 people report him under human trafficking.
Well, Sean Davy Way on YouTube has a petition. He was only looking for a couple thousand names. I told him that I would get anyone from me and on my platforms, we would support him in that. But I think 10, 15,000 names. See, I think the trafficking is one thing, but I think he should have been arrested, which means someone in government doesn't think it's worth prosecuting. No. If those children are being killed or dying from reckless care, and they're disposing of the bodies in a wrong way, that I know is a criminal fine.
All that was coming in afterwards, but I just want to read something to you, okay?
Yes.
Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. You can go ahead and talk until I get it pulled up.
I also know from one of my sources that have been working with the women, and she does a fantastic job. I got a shout out to in these YouTube streets. That's my girl. I think people tend to forget that she always comes from a clinical point of view, which is not going to be emotional. But that's what I love about her. But the money, all of these loans, when they check in and he takes their ID, and then he files for government loans in their names.
Okay, here I am. Okay, you ready? These are signs of human trafficking. Appearing malnourished, showing signs of physical injuries and abuse, avoiding eye contact, social interaction, and authority figures, seeming to rehearse or respond in social interactions, lacking official identification documents. He takes all of that. Appearing distorted, lacking personal possessions, working, he make them all work, living at a place that we ain't gonna go to that, checking into hotels, motels, / Airbnb, that's what you're in, poor physical or dental health, tattoos and brandings, all of them have them, untreated sexual transmitted diseases, small children, basically malnutrition, working. He has violated 5
everything.
Can I speak?
Now, I want to say this here. Until he's reported right. You can't report him on suspect shit. Okay, you can call Children Family Services. That's not going to get it. Because Children Family Services will let people go without even...
of kid whatsoever about what the cult leader was doing. What he's doing this to black women, to melanated women. He is serving as a tool, an instrument to serve as an example. He's using these women for that, and he's putting that throughout our communities by basically brainwashing them and sending them back to the United States. They're having sex with people. There's even more STDs that are being shared. This right here is within itself, I believe, a psyop. That's what I believe he is, a psychological operation. Period, point blank. That's the only way he done got kicked out of as many countries as what he has successfly is still able to walk around. He's free. You know, it's guys I know now. He got hit with an ounce of dope, done got 20 years. He's did further more than that.
Okay, so hold on 1 second. Okay. Hold on 1 second. I want to be clear on everything, all this information. What we saying is that we believe that the government knows what he is doing and he's been getting a hall pass.
Probably so. Till they ready to chop him down.
That's
because
exactly.
I'm gonna tell you something how the feds work.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
The feds will put you out there. The feds will put you out there to do X, Y, and Z. But you have a time limit.
Then guess what? Then it sounds like if that's the case, we got to go after the money.
Exactly, and that's what I was going to, because aside from everything else of on what we can say that he's doing, we have to go off of the things that we can prove. And we're talking about those loans and on how that he was able to get as many through those members and as docile as what they are, as not as what they are. This is
shout out to YouTube and these streets, because that's exactly what she said the last time we had a women's meeting, and she said, you know what? They don't care. They don't care. They don't care. But two things I know they can't avoid: the death of a baby
and them loans.
And but the loans, number one, especially right now when the government isn't so much, when we got all of these money issues going on, people waiting on the stimulus, and this fool sitting here collecting the Social Security numbers and getting all these loans tax free.
And you stealing from the state, they ain't gonna play that.
Especially if you're stealing from the state that's helping you get away with your nightmare island.
Right.
This sounds like Epstein Island with black people.
But the only thing about it, as opposed to Epstein Island, is he has people that actually own these Airbnbs that they rent out, that he become friends with. And it just so happened that these people that own these Airbnbs never have anything to say once that these children are disappeared.
Well, we got to do something. I'm trying everything I could. We even set up another motion. I don't want to tell you about it here, Jaguar. I did, however, jot down.
Contact me, because I have some friends that you might need to meet.
Okay. We do have something lined up. I'm not going to exhaust you. We can sit here and talk about this food.
I know, forever.
We only giving him power.
Listen to me. I want every conversation about this man from this point forward to be, how do we stop the new recruits from drinking the Kool-Aid?
That's what I do. Everyone new one that come on my panel, I tell them to stay away from Nature Boy, honey. I be on here 9 o'clock in the morning. I start on here.
And how we get to attaching him to all of these loans.
Yeah.
What I hope is that he don't got life insurance policies on these people.
That is another conversation, because there's a lady named Mama Dear, Maggie Magdalena Sevilla. She was over 50 years old, who was a member when he was in Palenque, Mexico, who actually passed, and he had her death certificate after her passing. So I've questioned about the insurance policy and the money that he's drawing from her, as well as notable business that he's changed names, possibly that he have in her name as well. So yeah, we most definitely have to talk. Oh yeah.
My email address is jaguarwright@gmail.com. All the panelists today, any information, any way that we can help bring light to this platform and stop this black beast from taking down our black future. Exactly. These are women and children being affected here. This is the future. We're letting
we all need to get together and work on a lawyer, and I have no problem with it. At any expense, I will contribute.
Get at
someone needs to look into this.
After my conversation with him today, I'm clear on one thing: he is very comfortable and confident in his position and has no intention of stopping.
Okay, and I will contact you, Jaguar, at any expense.
All right.
And with a lawyer, he needs to.
We'll figure it out. Yeah. We'll figure it out.
Well, thanks for having me, Jag, as well as us. We ain't gonna.
It's lovely meeting you. I didn't know anything about you, but thank you for coming. Thank you for your input, and thank you for educating us. Queen Truth, God bless you. My Nubians, God bless you. I want to thank my moderators, my Keith, and my respectfully by Moni. And we're gonna get better at this broadcasting thing. We're gonna figure it out here. But
yeah,
I don't want to. Yeah.
Help you with getting the rooms, because Carbonation just totally just wrecked the whole room. Like, that's what they do. So if you need an admin, you can make me an admin and, like, get everything. You need more admins. That's the biggest thing.
That's what I need. But you know what? I also want people to see how far these people are willing to go to justify what they're doing.
Very true. Oh my God, y'all seen Afro lately? Afro is starting to be so little, just like, I can't look at this. Okay, I'm gonna hit you up, Jaguar. Can somebody look at his live and look how look at Afro's face. Oh my goodness, she's deteriorating by the days.
That's sad.
Oh my goodness.
All right, we got work to do.
Yeah, we got work to do.
Then I'm gonna hit your inbox in contact.
Absolutely.
Thanks to everybody that give Jag as well as myself as well as the panelists. I'll definitely be in contact with you.
All right, now take care and stay safe and stay away from fake babas.